Welcome back, Littles and Jelly Spoons, to the Orbital Broadcast Bunker engine room after our little trip to Cornwall, which was absolutely fantastic. The weather was okay. We had some good days, we had some bad days. But most importantly, I had a really good time game hunting. Now, people might remember that last year I did my CEX Epic game hunt. I went to the 4 CEXs that were closest to where I was staying. I think that's Penzance, St Austell, Truro, Newquay. But this time I wanted to visit some more independent retailers, and that's just what I did. Let's see how we got on. Well, here we are in sunny Cornwall. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't sunny about an hour ago. It was absolutely pissing it down. Okay, so unlike last year, where my mission was to visit the 3 or 4 local CEXs and do a bit of a mega haul, I won't be doing that this year. This year, the plan is to try and visit some more local independent video game retailers. First one we're going to try to get to today is in, I always say this place incorrectly, Liskeard? Is that correct? There's a place called, is it The Shop? The Little Shop in Liskeard. So that's the first place we're going to try. So, made it to, how are we saying it? Liskeard. As it has started to rain, the heavens will open. Let's go and find this shop. The Little Shop, the best way I can describe it is probably a sort of like miniature, condensed, classic Forbidden Planet, you know, before they went corporate. From there, for the grand total of £9, I picked up, first off, you don't see this on PlayStation every day, Operation Win Back. People probably know this better for the N64 counterparts. This came out the following year, 2000, 1999, 2000, it should say on the back. It actually says 2001. There was a sequel to this, Win Back 2, which is definitely a heavy hitter. It only came out on the PlayStation and the Xbox, but now that is definitely going on my list if I can find it. Next up, the PlayStation's answer to Halo, Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Fantastic little game. Can't remember if I've ever played it, but looking forward to playing that one. And then finally, the most expensive game that I picked up in the Little Shop was Time Crisis 2. I love me a light gun game, and it surprises me that I don't own more Time Crisis titles. Oh, little pussycat. Oh no, he's hiding underneath the car. Right, next day of the summer games. I'm not really calling it a hunt. Meander. A summer games meander. So today we're in Plymouth. Then we decided to take a day trip to Plymouth because I genuinely can't remember if I've actually ever been to Plymouth before, and if I had, it was definitely a long time ago. There was also 2 retro vendors that I wanted to check out. The first was the Game Zone, located in Plymouth City Market, an absolute Aladdin's cave of video games, video game accessories, video game accoutrement, Lego. It went so much in such a small space. I genuinely could have spent all day there. They had a beautiful Link model from Breath of the Wild, not too dissimilar to the figure that I've got. I was genuinely going to pick it up, and then I realised it was £50, and then it was a bit too rich for my blood on that particular day. He says, picking up what is definitely the most expensive game I picked up on this trip. Bloody Roar, Primal Fury. This is, as far as I can remember, this is like Bloody Roar 3.5. It came out after 3 but before 4. I think on the Xbox it was called Bloody Roar Extreme. Definitely one for me and Engage to sink our teeth into at some point. And I also picked up Time Crisis 3, because the day before I'd picked up Time Crisis 2. Felt fitting. It wasn't expensive. Yeah, I thought Time Crisis 2. Since I'm in Plymouth City Centre for, as far as I can remember, the first time, I thought it was only polite to go and check out the local CEX and see what they had. Not a lot, I'll be perfectly honest. There was a retro section, and they had some heavy hitters in there. They had some heavy hitters that weren't in brilliant condition, which does make you wonder if they're ever really going to be able to sell them. However, when I was perusing the PlayStation 2 section, there was a little game that I'm entirely blaming Fantastic Mr. Connor for me picking this one up, since we always seem to be throwing arrows these days when I'm visiting you in Scarborough.
Of course. I don't even know what to do anymore.
This one's for you, lad. So there were two other games that I saw that I was sort of on the fence about, but I thought, well, picking that one up, might as well pick these up. First up, Ghostbusters. I think this is a sort of cheeky tie-in to the 2016 Melissa McCarthy movie. It's an isometric Ghostbusters game. I remember seeing it when it first came out and thought it looked interesting, but I seem to remember was it quite expensive? Or I thought I was going to wait for it to come on sale. One of those ones you kind of forget about. I saw it, I thought, well, pick that one up because it wasn't expensive. Also picked up Sniper Elite V2 Remastered. I love the Sniper Elite series, and yeah, really excited to replay through this with all the story DLC.
Hello. It is Collins, right.
Now, the final retro vendor that I wanted to visit in Plymouth was called Top Banana, which I thought was very funny because people that know me IRL will know that the phrase Top Banana is one that I use quite a lot at work. I think it probably does wind a few people up. Top Banana on what I thought was the outskirts of Plymouth. Yeah, always be careful to double check when you're Google mapping somewhere that you've got your settings correct onto walking as opposed to driving, because I thought this was a 20-minute walk outside of Plymouth city centre. No, it was a 20-minit drive. The best way to describe Top Banana, I think, is sort of like a postmodern Arkwrights from Open All Hours. Apologies to my American cousins if you're not entirely sure what Arkwrights is.
Do you think I'm attractive to women?
Well, only if they're looking for someone to work at £20,000.
They sold a little bit of everything. Electricals, food, retro video games. Yeah, they had their own dedicated like little media section that's full of DVDs, Blu-rays, video games. It's a really nice little place. I can't imagine you'd ever be in the vicinity unless you're in Plymouth, but I can definitely highly recommend checking it out. And I did find, surprisingly, one game, again, fairly uncommon. It's never been on any of my lists, but I have been reading a book that's in the same series, and that is Judge Dredd, Dredd vs. Death. I have this on PC. It's actually not a bad little game. The book that I'm reading is Judge Dredd Year 1. If you are like a Judge Dredd fan, if you liked the Carl Urban film, hell, even if you liked the, was it 1993 Sylvester Stallone film? A, check this game out, and B, definitely check the book out.
Well, there we go, ladles and jelly spoons. I do hope that you have enjoyed my little summer gaming haul, and I'd be very interested to know what you think the first game is that I should properly sink my teeth into. Ladles and jelly spoons, if you are not yet subscribed to Kohigh Mathy's YouTube channel, please do rectify that by clicking the old subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, please do click the old like button. And if you wish to share it out amongst your video game loving chums, please do that as well. See you soon. Bye for now.